It's important to properly dispose of unwanted medication or sharps. MedProject offers free and convenient disposal options near you. To learn more, call 844-MED-PROJECT or visit medproject.org.
Get great savings throughout the store at Safeway. This week at Safeway, get value packs of USDA Choice Boneless Beef Tri-Tip Roast, untrimmed twin packs for $3.97 per pound with digital coupon. Plus, get whole Signature Farms turkey, 10 to 15.5 pound grade A for $8 each or 16.1 to 22 pound for $10 each. Member price with a minimum $50 purchase. Limit one per household while supplies last. Also this week at Safeway, Hass avocados are 10 for $10, member price. Visit Safeway.com or head in store for more deals.
Hello, folks. This is Who Did You Boycott Today? I'm getting ready to make a audio recording on Ozone Wallace. Othal, Ozone Wallace. Before I start the audio recording, I'm going to read the copyright disclaimer because some sections of this audio is from other person's recording. So to ensure that I am within the Copyright Act of 1976, I will read the following. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachings, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Now that that's out the way, because as you listen to this recording, there are parts that will be criticized and comments made in reference to the recording made by Hassan Campbell and Heavy Duty Country. Clips from both of those persons' audio is included in this audio. So that's why it's necessary for me to start off with reading the Copyright Act of 1976. So this is a recording that I made a little over 2 years ago in the response to what had taken place with Ozone when a policeman approached him one evening while he was sitting in his car. After listening to Hassan Campbell and Michi X broadcast on YouTube, I decided to make a recording and express my feelings as to what I had looked at from Hassan Campbell's video on YouTube and the broadcast that Michi X made on her YouTube channel. After watching both of those videos and doing my own critical evaluation, it was made clear to myself, a person who I can consider fair-minded, that Michi X had reported on her video that Ozone had the day of this incident, that Ozone was approached by the policeman, that Ozone had early in that day spent the day making cookies with his daughter and had later went out to his car and was sitting in his car when the policeman approached him. In the video, it's dark at night, and I am going to put a link in the description of this audio. So for those who have not had a chance to view the video of the policeman approaching Ozone, then hopefully you will be able to click on the link that will be in the description to give you a better understanding of what took place on that unfaithful night that the policeman approached Ozone. Based on what I seen, the policeman, as he was walking up to Ozone, he asked him, "Do you live here?" Ozone responded with, I can't remember his exact words right now, but he was simply asking the policeman to state why he had approached him. And Ozone was standing up in the driver's seat of his car, outside of the driver's seat of his car. It was no room for him to run, to really pose any threat to the policeman. The policeman walked up to him at a close distance as Ozone was asking him to let him know why he had decided to approach him. As I watched that policeman approach Ozone, I was thinking to myself, a policeman would never approach a white person that way, an Asian person that way, a Latino person that way. Only brown and dark-skinned Americans are approached in that manner, because we, as brown and dark-skinned persons in America, are not respected in the same manner and treatment that others receive. So that policeman approached him with total disregard and respect to Ozone human rights. It would have been a simple thing for the policeman to ask Ozone for his driver's license, to state why he was approaching him. If he would have been approaching a white person or an Asian person, the policeman would have definitely have stated clearly why he was approaching that person. But as we all understand and know plainly from our life experience, that brown and dark-skinned persons' interaction with law enforcement is not fair and respected in the same manner that they choose to respect other human beings. So as the police officer continued to tell Ozone to sit down, sit like a dog, Ozone, as I remember, turned to get back in his car, and you cannot see from the video what took place inside the car. I guess you can make the assumption that there was a tussle and a weapon went off. Beyond that, I really cannot elaborate anymore. Unless there's a video camera that can reveal more than that, I'm not sure how you get to a finite conclusion as to what transpired inside that vehicle, other than you could hear movement of a tussle from the sound of the audio, that there was a tussle. I don't know what weapon went off, whether it was the policeman's weapon or if there was a weapon inside the car. I have no knowledge of that, so I cannot speak on it, and I will not try to speak on it. But what I do know is that watching, excuse me, watching that video, it was clear that that policeman did not see Ozone as a human being. He did not approach him with the mindset that he was approaching a human being, and that that human being deserved a decency of respect. And I will repeat again, what would it have hurt for that policeman to state clearly, Ozone, may I see your driver's license? Because the policeman was asking, do you live here? Do you live here? And he could have simply, excuse me, stated to Ozone as he walked up to him, I would like to ask you some questions. May I see your driver's license? Or stated why he felt a need to approach him. But again, brown and dark-skinned persons in America are not afforded the same treatment and respect that other persons receive from law enforcement. So that unfaithful night is the night that Ozone's life changed forever. And since that night, and since they took him into custody, he has had to be away from his 5 children and his mother and all the persons that love him. And it all could have simply not have happened if America in law enforcement would make up their minds to treat brown and dark-skinned persons the same way they treat a white person, or Caucasian person, or Asian person, a Latino person, or any other ethnicity that is not a Negro, Black American, human being. Law enforcement in American society as a whole have made a conscious decision not to see Negroes and Black Americans as human beings. They are making that choice every day of their life. And each person that is making that choice know that they are doing it. But they will never admit it. They will deny and deny and deny till they take their last breath. Unless you're not going to believe your lying eyes, we all bear witness to it from the reports on the news. We bear witness from folks recording it on their phone, or however they decide to record it, and then post it so others can view it. So unless you're just gonna refuse to believe your eyes and what your eyes is looking at, we have seen enough times of how the unfair, unbalanced treatment of Negroes and Black Americans in America. And anyone who denies that is a liar. They are a liar. Because you would have to be deaf and blind not to evaluate it fairly and honestly of the different treatment that Negroes and Black Americans receive from just every average day citizens to the law enforcement. Even regular citizens feel that they have the liberty to mistreat and talk to Negroes and Black Americans in any way they choose. And they know they're going to get away with it. And law enforcement do it constantly. And it's caught on camera. It is literally caught on camera, and they still deny it. They want you to tell your eyes that they're lying to you. Your eyes are lying to you, yourself. But we know better. We know better. And I pray to God when Othal, Ozone, Wallace trial starts on the 5th of September. And I pray that the Negro and the Black American community will tune in and donate to his legal fund. Donate whatever you can. As little as $2 will go a long way. May I say again, if you have a chance to listen to this audio, Othal Ozone Wallace is in the fight of his life, and he don't deserve to be in the fight of his life. He was simply sitting in his car, minding his business, and then he was approached by a policeman, and then his life turned upside down, all because he just unfortunately happened to be sitting in his car one evening, minding his own business, and then happened to be approached by a policeman. Now, he's in the fight of his life. So if you can find it in your heart to watch the trial and to donate, even if it's only $2 that you have, it will make a difference, and it will be appreciated. And I say thank you. So I'm going to start the audio now of the one. This is the audio that I made and video that I uploaded to my YouTube channel over 2 years ago. And I'm in the process of re-recording some of the videos that I uploaded to my YouTube channel so that I can upload them to my new podcast to hopefully be able to reach a larger audience so that we can understand and help our kids understand the world that they live in. That is one way that I'm trying to give back, because my mother explained to her 7 kids the world that they were growing up in and the world that they would have to walk out into one day and grow into an adult. So my mother would always say, I am preparing you for the real world. Let me say again, my mother constantly said these following words: I am preparing you for the real world. I cannot tell you how those words saved me a many a days when I was out there facing the ups and downs of day-to-day life and day-to-day struggles. Whenever things got too tough, I will always repeat those words to myself. I would silently repeat those words, and I would find a way to face whatever I was facing. And it got me through it. It really did get me through that moment. Whatever I was facing, no matter how bad or tough it was, I would just turn on that recording and replay back my mother's words. I am preparing you for the real world. And I was able to figure out whatever I was up against. So with all that said, I'm going to start the audio.
All right, so people, I just finished recording the video.
Hi everyone, this is AJ. I'm making an introduction video to the video I am making in support of Othal, Ozone, Wallace. This video is a video made by Hassan, Campbell in support and response for our brother Ozone. This racist individual, heavy duty country. I hope and pray all my brothers and sisters will have a chance to listen and watch this video of this racist individual spewing his hatred out of his mouth for every ADOS and African American walking around on two legs.
The brother Ozone that hit the cop. Now you got this I'm gonna call him the colonizer, right? You got one of the colonizers that decided that he wanted to make a reaction video. Now I've been following this white boy for a little minute because I've been watching how he's been pretty much dealing with a lot of topics that go on in the black community. So I said, let me keep an eye on him and see what he's talking about. Well, we're going to get into what he's talking about and how he's dealing with what he feels about the situation that happened with Brother Ozone with the police officer. I'm going to do a reaction video to his video. Now, the crazy part about it is, right, what you're going to hear in his video, homeboy doing a lot of cursing and still got commercials. And I'm like, look at this right here. They don't play with me like that. I can't talk the way the colonizer talk. But nevertheless, let me get this commercial out of here real quick so I can let you hear what he got to say. We're going to break down what he got to break down, right? We're going to walk through this together. Shall we begin?
Right? Y'all remember the clown Grandmaster Jay, who tried to call me out and called me the chief of the rednecks and all this other stuff. And remember how they said, oh, they don't do anything wrong, and they're this group who just defends the black community and all this other shit. Well, one of the people who has been identified as being a member of the NFAC just shot a police officer in Florida for no fucking reason.
So once again, I have started the video back up, and this is the second part to racist heavy-duty countries' feelings towards Ozone Wallace.
We've got a lot to cover in this video today, but for those of you who are wanting to see more about what is going on in this nation right now, feel free to go over to my podcast channel. We cover everything pretty in depth. But in this clip I'm about to share with you, this police officer was extremely polite. Hey man, do you live here? Sit down, watch.
Hey man, do you live here? Sit down. Good dog. C spot, run. Run spot C. Now, we don't play that. Sit down. Do you live here? It gets played out after a while with these colonizers coming to where you live at and telling you what to do where you live at.
How's it going? Do you live here? What's going on? Sit down. Sit, boo-boo. Sir. Can you sit down? I'll talk to you.
Come on now. Come on now.
Don't do this. Sit down.
Why you asking me to go live here?
Do you live here? Yes or no?
What's going on though?
Who? Charlie 77.
No, back up, man.
Stop.
But right after that, I can't put this in this video, but right after that, this guy by the name of Ozone Wallace shot him in the head. What exactly did this police officer, Jason Raynor, do to you?
I'll tell you.
To the point where you felt like you...
First of all, you boxed him in. You got the brother sitting in his car minding his business, looking suspicious. He asked the officer, what? What's up? What happened? No. Stay. Sit. He's not a dog. You're closing him in with your body language like you captured him. You ever, back in the days, I used to capture bees in a bottle, right? And we used to take the top and take the bottle and trap him in. You got this man in between his car door, approaching him just for sitting in his car. Now, automatically in America, with everything is going on in America, Mr. Colonizer, let me talk to you. Mr. Heavy Duty, Mr. Colonizer, right? In America, you see what's going on. As soon as a black man looks suspicious, he ends up on his back. So automatically, this dude got his guards up as this officer is approaching him, minding his business in his car. No, sit there. No, sit down. No, you tell dogs to sit down. He's not a dog. He's a human being. The officer's job was to tell him, listen, we got a call or we have something, can I have your order? Can I have your information, your ID? He didn't ask for his ID. He treated him like a suspect, like it was on. So the brother Ozone treated him like it's on. Or what you think that y'all gonna just keep on doing what y'all want to do to us the way you want to do? Nah, it's not working like that, homie.
What exactly did this police officer, Jason Raynor, do to you to the point where you felt like you had to pull your gun out and shoot him in the head? Oh, was he not taking your orders? Well, he doesn't fucking have to. He's the police officer. You're the civilian.
And we don't have to take your orders neither. There wasn't a crime committed. Being suspicious is not a crime. I've never seen anybody, any law, in the penal code that said you can be locked up because you look suspicious. He's suspiciously sitting in a car during current seasons. But come on, colonizer, please tell us how you really feel about us.
We are tired of this shit in America. If you don't like the police, if you can't take a simple order like sit your ass down and listen to what I'm saying, get the fuck out. If you think you're some badass,
hold up, Mr. Colonizer. You come over here on your ships where we was already living and decide to throw us a Thanksgiving Day massacre with smallpox in it, and then you want to tell us after you took our land and pushed us in the worst neighborhoods to get out of our country?
Okay, I'm going to stop it right there. I want to make sure I stay within YouTube fair use policy. I hope that you will have a chance to visit Hassan Campbell YouTube channel and watch the full video. The full video, when the first time I watched it, it chilled me to the bone. But this is the reality for most African American and ADOS living in this racist country. Let me say that again. At the time that I made this video over 2 years ago, I was still identifying as ADOS, and I also understood that America were classifying our ethnicity as African American. Well, since making this video, I have learned from being in the Negro space on Twitter and doing my own personal research that America has been harming myself for over 53 years once they place descendants of slaves under the term Black American and African American. And since doing my genealogy search and looking at my birth certificate, I know I have made self-correction, and my ethnicity and my race is Negro. So just wanted to make that clear, because you're going to hear me mention ADOS and African America throughout the audio. But that's one thing about life. when you know better, you make self-correction. And that's exactly what I did. That I'm not brain dead, and I will not continue to identify, excuse me, I will not continue to identify with the term that have caused me harm for 53 years out of my 61 years on this earth. I would have to be brain dead to be okay with continuing to identify with those terms. And I know, thankfully, I am not senile or crazy, so I can make critical evaluation that
It's important to properly dispose of unwanted medication or sharps. MedProject offers free and convenient disposal options near you. To learn more, call 844-MED-PROJECT or visit medproject.org.
This season, prepare for every season with the Allbirds Mizzle Collection. These shoes were made for adventures in rain, shine, mist, or snow. Go to allbirds.com and use code FRESHSOCKS for a free pair of socks with purchase.
if those terms are causing me harm for my existence, then it makes plain common sense that I no longer will identify by those terms. I will no longer allow myself to identify by Black American or African American. And thank the Lord that my birth certificate do have Negro on it. Thank the Lord I fully understand the history that my ancestors were Negro slaves, was a Negro slave. And since I understand that as plain as day, that I also identify as the descendant of my slave ancestors, then if I'm a descendant of Negro slave ancestors, then my ethnicity cannot be different from their ethnicity, because biology don't work that way. If I am a descendant of a Negro slave, then I cannot be a different term than that Negro. I am their descendant. Biology continues. It doesn't change. If I am a descendant of a Negro, that makes me a Negro. That makes my child a Negro. And so that's where I'm at. I ain't got anything to do with anyone else and how they choose to identify. I can only think for myself. And I've been doing a pretty good job of that. And I hope to God that I can continue to do that until I leave this world, until I die. So just to clear up that, so there's no confusion, because I know there's going to be folks who listen to this audio who are going to want to paint a different narrative. They are going to want to self-servingly paint a different narrative. But I am here to make it clear. I don't deny that when I made this audio, I was at that time identifying as ADOS, because I knew that I did not want to identify as Black American or African American that was being placed on applications and forms that I filled out. So I made a self-correction once I got my DNA test back. Once I received my DNA test that I sent off for, I said to myself, I'm not going to identify as Black. And I also had said Negro until I learned better. I was going to identify as ADOS until I learned differently. And now that I know I have learned differently, and I have come across factual information that clears things up for me, so I can step back and make a critical evaluation and come to a conclusion. And my conclusion is that I'm a Negro. And that's just where it's going to stay. So here we go. This is the harsh reality that most African Americans and ADOS live with daily. This individual and individuals like him are very dangerous to our well-being, to every African American and ADOS well-being. We are hearing more about people disappearing. We're hearing more about people hanging, African Americans and ADOS hanging themselves. We already see for ourselves, thanks to the white power news media, how Jim Crow police are killing us in record numbers. Jim Crow police are locking us up in record numbers. Now they have the assistance of public schools to help fill up their slave prisons. So my message to all of you, you two wannabe gangsters and hustlers, you don't have any time to waste. But if you choose to waste your time, go right ahead. Because I am not going to be wasting my time. I was taught to have a head on my shoulder, to have a mind of my own, and to think about my safety and security at all times. So for all of you who floating around here with your minds in the clouds and thinking about money bags, go right ahead. You can't spin a money bag when you're 6 foot under. So my focus is on staying alive, because I know every time I step out the door, it's a 50-50 chance I will not return home safely. And even if I'm at home with my door closed inside my own home, I may still not be safe. Breonna Taylor has made that very clear to every African American and ADOS. Now we have Ozone. He's sitting in his car, minding his own business, and he was not safe from Jim Crow police. So all of you wannabe gangsters and hustlers, I would be spending more of my time about figuring out how to stay alive than how to collect a big fat money bag, because that is your greatest immediate threat. But I doubt if you would take a minute of time out your day to think about it. No, you too concerned about chasing that almighty dollar. Go right ahead. Go right ahead and chase that almighty dollar. I want to thank everyone who take the time to watch this video. I pray to God each and every day that my brothers and sisters will stay safe, will not become a victim of Jim Crow police bait and trap. Have a good day. I want my brothers and sisters to watch this video and decide for yourself. Did Ozone have a reason to protect his life from this police officer? Thank you, Hassan Campbell. I am using your video to make a video in support of our brother Ozone. So Heavy Duty Country thinks that we need to go over to his podcast to understand what's going on in this nation. Well, newsflash for you, Mr. Heavy Duty Country. African Americans and ADOS already have a clear picture of what's going on in this country. If there was any confused individuals, they just have to think back to January the 6th. January the 6th made it very crystal clear. And I must say that was one time I was very proud of my brothers and sisters. We were all on cold message. We did not have a bone in that fight, and we did not comment on it. Let me say again, that was one time I was very, very proud of my brothers and sisters, because we did not respond to the madness of the racist people who attacked the Capitol, the U.S. Capitol. Just think about it. If a African American or ADOS had attacked the U.S. Capitol, this racist country would still be, it would have been a bloodbath, a blood massacre, and this country would have still been trying to mop up the bodies to this very day. Just imagine for 1 second, if all those thousands of people had been African Americans and ADOS, the police would have gunned them down, and it would have been a bloodbath. It would have been a blood massacre, and this country would still be trying to mop up the bodies. So, Mr. Heavy Duty Country, African Americans and ADOS who are awake and clear thinking, or not thinking with a slave mind, are very clear about the world they live in and day out. You do not have it correct. Now, well, brothers and sisters, Heavy Duty Country says the police officer was extremely polite. Let us repeat that again. Heavy Duty Country feels in his heart of heart that the police officer was extremely polite. Will you decide for yourself? Was that police officer who approached Ozone, was he polite? Now, brothers and sisters, did you witness that police officer with his hand on Ozone's shoulder? Was it necessary for him to invade Ozone's space and not approach him like a man and a human being and simply ask the questions that he had? But no, that will be asking too much of Jim Crow police to approach an African American or ADOS person like a human being. It was not necessary or required for him to have his hand on Ozone's shoulder. He would not have done that to an Asian person. He would not have done that to a Caucasian person. He would not have done that to a Korean person. He would not have done that to many different other races, but they choose to do that and treat African Americans and ADOS in this manner. And they wonder why we call this country a racist country. And this shines the light on the foolishness and disgusting statement that Kamala Harris made. She spit in every African American and ADOS face when she made a statement that this country was not racist. Well, all doubt was erased on January 6th whether this country is racist or not. You need not speak on that matter any longer, because any right-minded individual understands that crystal clear. They just have to go back and play January 6th of the U.S. Capitol being attacked. So, Miss Kamala Harris, you need to apologize to every African American and ADOS. I want an apology from you. I have already made one video about you, and I'm getting ready to make a second one that I will be sending to you and Joe Biden. Now, let's finish watching this racist individual. Okay, that should help you get the gist of the video that Hassan Campbell made on Heavy Duty Country. I hope you would take the time out to go and watch the full video. I think it is necessary for every ADOS and to watch this video and see what this racist individual is spewing out his mouth against every African American and ADOS. He is a danger to every one of our safety. Let me say again, this Heavy Duty Country racist individual is a danger to every African American in ADOS. But there are many more like him out there. So we do not have time to be attacking each other. We have very dangerous enemies out there who are looking to attack us 24/7. They are killing us. They are hanging us. They are locking us up. But no, we got YouTube Gangsters 2.0 wasting their time and energy attacking other ADOS African Americans, brothers and sisters. Well, this racist individual should be at the top of your list. He requires some of your attention and energy because he is a very dangerous human being.
Your home is more than the sum of its parts, and creating a truly extraordinary space is about more than picking the perfect products. That's why the experts at Ferguson Bath, Kitchen, and Lighting Gallery are here to help you throughout the entire process to create a home that's as unique as you are. Bring your vision to us.
Schedule your showroom consultation and see more from brands like Monogram at build.com/Ferguson.
I'm going to close out this video, and I pray to God that my brothers and sisters will keep themselves safe. I pray to God they will not fall victim to bait and trap like the police officer who approached Ozone. Please have your thinking caps on. Do not become a victim of Jim Crow police bait and trap. Let me say again, please have your thinking caps on. Do not become a victim of Jim Crow police bait and trap. Keep yourself and your family safe at all times. Have a blessed day, and thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Hi everyone, this is AJ. I'm doing a video in support of our brother Othal Ozone Wallace. I have logged into my PayPal account because I just finished making a donation to his trial fund. This is my donation. I donated $10, which is not very much, but I do not have a large income, so I have donated what I can afford to donate, and I will try to continue to make donate to his legal fund. I also made a purchase at My Patriot Supply. This is a website where you can purchase emergency food supply. If you have not visited MeTX video where she has a link to where you can purchase emergency food supply, you need to take care of that as soon as possible. Now let me switch over here to I'm going to close out this short part of the video and switch over to the website for Othal Ozone Wallace fundraising. Okay, I'm now switched over to Othal Wallace website where they're trying to raise money for his legal defense. This is the website you need to come to if you are able to donate some money for his legal defense. I initially was not going to
donate to Othal Wallace Legal Defense. But after watching a video that Hassan Campbell posted about heavy duty country, if you have not seen that video, you need to make it a point to his hatred about Ozone Wallace. You can find that video on Hassan Campbell YouTube channel. I will try my best to add part of that video to this video I am making. I watched that video and I tell you, it was very disturbing. It was very frightening. In that video, the police officer talked to Ozone Wallace like a dog. He literally talked to that, my brother, Ozone, like a dog. And I can only imagine the kind of fear that came over Ozone to make him decide to make a life-death decision to use his weapon and shoot that police officer. I don't know everything.
Let me pause right there. That was an error on my part because I misspoke there. I do not know if Ozone had a weapon inside of his car. As I stated earlier, I made this audio over 2 years ago. I've had all that time to reflect on my thoughts at the time that I made the first initial video. And I misspoke when I made the video earlier when I stated about the weapon. When I make a mistake, I want to take accountability for it. And at the time that I initially made this audio video that I uploaded to my YouTube channel over 2 years ago, I definitely can say without a shadow of a doubt that that was an error in my comments, and I take full responsibility for that error. And there's no proof as far as I know, and since I have no proof that Ozone had a weapon inside of his car, I should not have made that statement. And it's very important to take accountability when you say the wrong thing and own up to it. And that's what I am certainly doing here. I am owning up to myself saying out of my own mouth something incorrectly. And that needs to be done. We all human beings, and we're going to say things and do things sometimes that are incorrect. Hopefully we'll be able to accept accountability for it and learn from it. So I accept responsibility for that, and I apologize for that error from the bottom of my heart. Hopefully when the trial starts, that Ozone will get a fair trial. I'm going to put my faith in the Heavenly Father that Ozone will receive a fair trial and be found not guilty. That is my hope and prayer for Ozone, his kids, and his mother, and everyone that loved him. That is what I am praying for daily. That be the outcome for Ozone. He deserves nothing less. Ozone was minding his own business in his own car in front of his own apartment. And no one should have to live in fear and the threat of losing their human rights and their freedom by simply sitting in their car and minding their business. We can disagree about how law enforcement treat persons day to day, but any fair-minded, honest person can agree that a person should not have to be threatened or live in fear that their life is gonna change if they happen to be sitting in their car and a policeman decides to approach you. That should not be a threat to you. That should not be a threat to your freedom. So I'm gonna start the audio up again and try to finish up.
And it went down, so I'm not gonna make any comments. All I can say is that I share Ozone's fear as an African American, ADOS African American. I have that same fear when a police officer get behind me when I'm driving. I have that same fear when I see a police officer when I'm out and about. It's a kind of fear that takes your breath away. That is the kind of fear that many of us ADOS and African Americans live with daily. We live with that trauma because we are constantly being exposed to daily trauma by Jim Crow police. We are constantly being exposed to daily trauma of an unarmed African American or ADOS being shot and killed by Jim Crow police. We are constantly being exposed to daily trauma of a Jim Crow police mistreating a African American or ADOS. So I can only imagine the kind of fear that came over Ozone Wallace, because I have common sense and I know most African Americans and ADOS understand clear as day, if they shoot a police person, they have signed a death warrant, and they would not do that lightly. Let me say that again. Most African Americans and ADOS understand crystal clear, shoot a police person, they have signed their death warrant. You learn that at a very young age. I learned that at a very young age because my mom took the time to educate her children about, if you are approached by a police person, my mom explained to us very clearly, do not give a police person a reason to mistreat you. Do not give a police person a reason to take you to jail. Do not give a police person a reason to want to kill you. That lesson was taught to me at a very young age because my mom took the time to explain it to me and my brothers and sisters. She explained to us the danger every time we stepped out the door, and I fully understood that. As I got older, it became very clear what my mom was trying to help me to understand, to keep me safe. She was explaining to me, and she said to me and my brothers and sisters almost every day of our life, I am preparing you for the real world. My mother would say those words to us constantly. I am preparing you for the real world. Those words, as I look back on it, helped to save my life, helped to keep me safe and navigate the world that I was growing up in. My mother fully understood the danger of her children being an African American. She fully understood that. My mother had to have witnessed some of the earlier treatment of Jim Crow laws. She had to witness that. She had to endure that time. And so she made it a point to teach her children about safety, of navigating the racist world we were growing up in. So that is what inspires me to make this video in support of Ozone Wallace. His first name is Othal Ozone Wallace. I have also called the police department in Florida to check on Ozone's welfare. I was transferred to two different sections at the police department, but I was able to determine that the police department has started allowing to practice his religion and to receive what they call...
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.